Hi everyone, I'm Terry.
And I'm Angel.
And welcome to our cheese extravaganza wrap up. I am so fired up. Sorry I couldn't be here for the first three, but I did enjoy all three.
Aww,
so love you, baby. You did a great job.
I missed filming with my sweetie. So yes, this is the wrap up, as Terry said. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you 3 easy cheesy recipes to wrap up the 6 that I promised.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to that, we're going to do a full day of eating for you. So this is pretty cool video. This is what happens when things come up in your life and you've already made a promise. Mm-hmm. And so this is how we're going to follow through on our promise. So I'm not going to let you down.
That's right. I'm going to try not to step on our kitty.
Yeah.
He's under my feet. So
So I started making this feta cheese months and months ago. Mm-hmm. And even if you're new to whole food plant-based eating and eliminating cheese out of your life, I'm almost going to give you a guarantee that this tastes like the feta cheese, like if you had them next to each other. Because the other cheeses taste similar. Mm-hmm. We do acquire a taste for them and everything's fine and we love it. But this recipe is authentic.
So you can do a blind taste test.
Yeah.
And you'd fool some people.
This recipe is authentic. Please try this recipe and let me know, because I'm telling you right now, I've shocked a lot of people. I love the look on their face. And so trust me on this. So what I use, and there's no blender needed, food processor, nothing. This is all done in a bowl. So talk about easy and delicious.
And what are we going to use this on, babe?
So we are going to use this feta cheese. I often use it on maybe a Greek salad or what I call a Greek salad, because I'll put lettuce and I'll put this over it. And a lot of times I don't have to use dressing because the cheese is so delicious. Today, for our first meal, Terry and I already had juice. So since we're doing a full day of eating, we've already had juice. It's a Sunday. We are staying home today and we're going to watch the playoffs. So today is playoff day and we are going to watch football playoffs together. It's going to be a fun day of eating. So we are going to make this feta cheese and maybe have it on salads later. But this morning, we are going to have this on our tofu scramble. So we've already made tofu scramble for you during our New Year's? During our New Year's run. So in those videos, we made the tofu scramble for you. If you missed it, go on the app or the website and get the recipe. But we're going to put this over top of our tofu scramble.
Yummy!
Yummy! Anyway, so what I am going to use today is pum fu. Don't get upset if you can't find pum fu in your store, but the ingredients are organic pumpkin seeds and filtered water.
That's it.
That's it. So this is pum fu tofu, which is just pumpkin seeds. And so I'm going to use this. It's an 8-ounce block. With pum fu, you don't have to squeeze it because there's really not water in here. I've tried pressing this before and nothing comes out. So if you can't find pum fu, you don't like pum fu, what have you, use 8 ounces. This is an 8-ounce block. Use 8 ounces of regular tofu, which you will have to squeeze because you want it to be as dry as possible. So I'm just going to tell you the truth. Uncooked tofu and me, I won't say I don't like it, that I won't use the word hate, but it has a funny taste to me. I'm just being honest. When it's uncooked, I need my tofu cooked. I need it air fried. I need it baked. I need it sauteed. I have to have my tofu cooked. That's just for me. There's a
personal preference.
There's a taste. Even when I blend tofu and try to make things out of it in a blender, I still taste that. So it's not for me. So you don't see me cooking with raw tofu because it's just not for me. But a lot of people do. It is a personal preference. So for this, I do use pum fu. Number one, I love pum fu. I can just eat it plain. I don't have that taste. It's just the seeds. And number two, it's just not for me. Sorry. If you like it, the tofu, use 8 ounces of firm or extra firm. Press it dry. You know. So here's the block. What I'm going to do, or what Terry's going to do, and I'm just going to do a couple pieces. But I'm going to slice this pretty thin because I'm going to make the feta cheese. So I'm slicing it. They're not perfect, obviously, but like that. So you're going to slice down your block like that.
Okay.
Then you're going to go the opposite way, and you're going to make small pieces of feta cheese.
Okay.
Like this.
Easy enough.
So, thank you, honey. And so Terry is going to do this for me. So here's what the pieces are like. One way, then cut the other way. I mean, it takes no time.
Yeah.
So Terry is going to finish
okay.
that. Thank you. And
You're
then
welcome.
I'm going to tell you what the ingredients are. You just cut that, press it if you have to, if you're using tofu. Let it, while it's pressing, mix up your other ingredients in the container that you're going to keep it in so you have less mess in the end.
Less mess.
I wrote down my recipe so I don't forget anything. And you know what? Sometimes when I notice when I'm filming, I'll say tablespoon, I mean teaspoon. I'll say teaspoon, I mean tablespoon. I don't know why I do that. My mind is just reeling. I don't mean to, and I apologize. But the actual, real, accurate recipe is on the app and the website. So if I say tablespoon on here and you see the recipe and it says teaspoon, teaspoon is correct. Okay? So I just want to say that because I watched
Full disclosure.
I watched the videos over and I'm like, why did I say 2 tablespoons when I meant 2 teaspoons? Okay. Just like, what was it I made the other day? Yesterday was the ricotta mixture, and I said 2 tablespoons of the maple sugar, and I meant 2 teaspoons, you know.
It happens.
Whatever. Okay.
It happens.
So we're going to start with 1 1/4 tablespoons of miso paste. Who's happy to see Terry back? Woo! See, I said 1 1/4 teaspoons. 1 1/4 tablespoons. Why am I saying 1 1/4? So 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of miso paste. Everybody knows I'm the miso lover. So 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of miso. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. So if you use the raw, you have to shake it because it has the stuff sitting. 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I told you before, I don't go by teaspoons or tablespoons. This lemon is big and it's going to give me 2 tablespoons in my mind. Honey, do you mind cutting this in half for me?
Absolutely.
And then I will just squeeze it into here. So 2 tablespoons or a lemon that's large that you feel like is going to give you 2 tablespoons. Oh yeah, that gave me a lot of juice right there.
Yeah.
Toss it in the sink.
It's a nice sized lemon. All right.
I sometimes like to grind the lemon rind up in the garbage disposal and it makes it smell nice.
Good to go here.
Hey, show everybody how, you know, maybe
looks
hold
good.
the cutting board up.
Look at that there, huh? How'd I do?
You did amazing and I didn't have to do it. All right, so after the lemon, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Boom. And then 1 tablespoon. That's the nice thing about having the other side that's dry.
All of these delicious ingredients.
Yummy. 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast.
Okay.
Which you won't taste if you don't like it. I'm telling you got to try this. Yummy. A half of a tablespoon.
Trust the process.
Yes, trust the process. Half of a tablespoon of oregano. It's just, for me, coming from cheese being one of my food groups and a cheese lover, when I tasted this and it was so authentic, I was just, you know what, I was blown away. And it takes time to get the recipes down. You don't just, every once in a while you'll get to make a recipe and you're like, yeah, I really knocked it out of the park the first time. That was a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. Wait, sorry, honey. Sometimes you'll make a recipe and you have to do it over and over and over again until you get it correctly. Sometimes you'll just do it and you'll knock it out of the park. But when I tasted this recipe and I finally got it where I needed it, I was blown away by the authenticity of how it literally tasted and the texture like feta. So anyhow, I did 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, a 1/2 tablespoon of oregano, a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, pepper to taste.
All unbelievable ingredients.
Yes, and then finally, you want to use, if you eat salt, put a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in here. If you don't use salt, put a 1/4 teaspoon of tamari.
Tamari.
Yes, but feel free to substitute. That's it. Then you just want to incorporate the ingredients, especially because you have the miso in here. So you want to make sure that you're getting that miso incorporated into your other ingredients. And it's crazy because tell me if this doesn't smell like feta cheese.
I was just getting ready to say the aroma is unbelievable. Yeah, and it does smell like feta cheese.
Yeah.
But just mixing this up.
Just mixing this up and getting that
Wow.
feta taste, and then I enjoy it all week. I mean, when I make this, I got to be careful.
Well, you nailed it on this one, baby. I don't know how you came up with it, but I know it was trial and error, but you nailed it on
Well,
this
it
one.
always takes time. When you want something bad enough, you figure it out. But this is a must try. So I keep this in the fridge, and I'm not going to lie. I have to make it sparingly because it is a weakness of mine. And I will go in the fridge with a fork and just eat it out of here. And it's, I can't help it. It's an unbelievable taste. But now I hope you can see it's just...
Let me see if I can
just
get
a liquid.
a little closer with longer arms here. See, it's just a...
Just a liquid. Nice. And the miso mixed up very nicely. So no stress on the miso. And then you take your feta pieces, however you want to do it. You know, this is how I find the feta pieces to... I like it, but cut your feta any way you like it. If you like your feta crumbly, you can always crumble it. But I like to do... Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
And then just incorporate...
That is going to be so good. I'm telling you, when Angel was working her way through perfecting this recipe, I'm telling you, when she got it right and nailed it, she nailed it. So, like I was saying before, we could do a blind taste test, and I guarantee you the majority of the people will choose, if not all, would choose this one over
It'd be
any kind of
hard.
feta
I don't
cheese.
know
It's
why.
incredible.
And it's so delicious. I was thinking about my daughter-in-law when I first told her I made feta. And she loves feta as much as I do. And one day she was over with the baby and I had her try it. And just the look on her face and her eyes when she tried it. Because I think she was ready for... This is a vegan cheese. I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good because Mom made it. Anyway, I'm kidding. And then, but the look in her eyes and then the expression on her face and then the words that came out of her mouth were like, oh my God. And then I think it was like, Mom, I need that recipe and I need it now. And she's been making it ever since. So...
And you can crumble it. You can do whatever, right?
You know what Meg said she loves this on? She told me she does avocado toast, and she puts this on the top. So just a tip. I hadn't thought of that, but she told me that's how she eats this feta cheese, and she loves it. So try it. So,
but you can't crumble it. You can do whatever. Like if you want the feta cheese, whatever.
So in the recipe, I'm going to tell you.
Wow.
To leave this in your fridge.
Unbelievable.
For 24 to 48 hours just to get the maximum taste. But I'm not going to lie to you. You can eat it just like this. And I'm planning on it because I'm going to put this on my eggs. This is delicious.
When you guys make this, you got to let us know.
Oh my gosh.
You got to let us know. It's incredible. I know.
I love this. Here's your feta cheese.
There it is.
Enjoy it. It does get stronger in 24 and then 48 hours and so on. So put a lid on it, cover it, put it in your fridge. So this isn't going in my fridge because it's going in my stomach.
And it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. We are going to be back with an amazing cheesy lunch recipe that you don't want to miss. So we'll be right back.
All right, guys. Hi, everyone. We are back.
And we are so ready for lunch. What we are going to make is an easy, cheesy broccoli cheddar soup. And we've been making this for some time, and I gave the recipe to my mom, and she has been going bananas. So it's just been, it's just so good, and it brings me back to my broccoli cheddar days. So some of the stuff we had to prepare because cutting it on this side of our kitchen would be a mess, but it took us less than 5 minutes because everything is coarsely chopped. There's no dicing. This is easy. So if you want a crowd pleaser on a weeknight, oh my God. So today in the Northeast, it's raining, it's cold, and we want to watch football and we want comfort.
I was just getting ready to say that.
Yeah,
it's just as comfy as like chili on a day like today.
But I don't know if you're missing broccoli cheddar soup, but we
love broccoli cheddar soup.
And this does not
favorites.
last. So one of the things I'm going to tell you is, if you watch my videos throughout the whole thing and you don't stop, you see that I leave tips for stuff that I did earlier because it just pops into my mind. So sorry if you cut it off and you don't get all the tips. But anyway, so for this, I went to Trader Joe's, like I told Costco the other day, and I bought all this organic vegetables. One of the things I love that they have is already cut up broccoli that's organic. It's washed, it's organic, it's cut up, and I love it. So Terry always takes it out of the bag for me. It's 2 pounds. And he cuts it into bite-sized pieces.
Because some of the stems are long and some of the pieces are large. So it just makes it better to eat.
Much better and delicious. So that's just a good thing. Because some of them, they're cut, but they're really big.
They are.
So that's what we do, but you don't have to rewash it or anything.
And baby, not a plug for Costco, but Costco is a great place to get organic fruits and vegetables in a large variety.
That's right.
So we like Costco.
No, that's awesome. I had said that same thing the other day. See, great minds think alike, you know? So for this recipe, I like to say around 4 to 6 cups of broccoli. More is always better. This has got to be 9 or 10 cups because this is an 8-cup measure, and the 8-cup stops here. Yeah. So because of that, Terry and I are going to be making a recipe and a half. Bummer. Darn. Oh, but I'm going to tell you the measurements for the recipe, not a recipe and a half. And you can make it a recipe and a half or double or triple or whatever you want.
Right.
But the recipe that I'm going to post for you is one recipe. But if you see me putting stuff in here that's more than what I'm saying, it's because that's why. Okay? So let's warm the pot, get the pan going. You don't need any oil. I'm going to move the camera because I want you to see what we're doing. Not us, but what we're actually doing. Sorry. See, this is when Terry should probably be over here because I stink at being
You're doing a great job,
lady.
babe. Great job.
Okay, thank you. So the first thing I want to do is tell you, like I said, we roughly chop everything. So one very large onion, just roughly chopped, and I'll tell you why, because we're going to make this actually a very creamy soup, and the way to make it creamy is to blend it up. So there's really no reason why you have to make all the veggies small, because you're going to grind it up anyway.
Right.
And then same thing for the carrots. So that was 1 large onion, 3 large carrots, 2 stalks of celery. Again, you're going to see more for mine because I'm making more, but you know, roughly chopped. So we'll put those in there. 3 large cloves of garlic, or plus. You can always do plus on garlic.
Absolutely. Garlic you can always go overboard on.
Always go overboard. So what you want to do is just saute this down until it's somewhat soft. It doesn't have to be really soft or anything like that. You want this to be really quick and easy. Boom, 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 and you're done. So we're just going to saute this down for a few minutes, and then we're going to whip the rest of it up in like 2 minutes. So here we go. Okay, everything is pretty soft in here.
Smells delicious.
Ready to go. Well, you know, sauteed onions and garlic, you can't beat it.
How can you go wrong?
I just added a little tiny bit of water at the end because it started to stick a little bit, but you know, don't worry too much about that. All right, so we got that stuff sauteed down. So now what we're gonna do is add, what are we gonna do, honey? We're gonna add, well, I'm gonna need, actually, or I have on here 5 cups of water.
Okay.
So for this, for my recipe, I'm gonna add 8 cups of water.
Okay.
But for your recipe, 5 cups of water. So, you know, if I would have been thinking and I wanted to do this faster for you, I would, how many was that, honey? 3?
Yep, that's 3.
He's counting for me.
You talk, I'll count. 4.
Okay. I would have had this ready, but, you know, I'm just trying to show you. This is how we got to do it in real life.
That's right.
The reason why I'm
6.
shutting the water off is because I will get more than I bargained for.
7, and here's the last one.
Approximately. I mean, this is soup.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
you know, and then then if I were you, I would crank my heat up because that's what I just did. So 5 cups of water, and then I use 2 cubes of this not chicken. If you cannot get this, they sell it at Whole Foods, they sell it on Amazon. If you cannot get this, don't fret. My mom can't get it right now where she's at, and she just used the low sodium veggie. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. But for this, I just use these. So 2 cubes. You're going to see me put 3, but 2 for you. And here, honey, 1 for you.
Okay.
And then 3/4 of a cup of nutritional yeast.
Okay.
So.
We'll do a little bit more.
Yep. But 3/4 of a cup for this recipe, and it's so good. I'm so happy that we're actually going to have more.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, it doesn't last long enough, and then we always want to make more. And now we'll have leftover, and especially because the weekdays are coming, and that'll be so nice. So 3/4 cups of nutritional yeast, 1 tablespoon of miso. So got to do a little bit more.
That'll never hurt.
That'll never hurt.
A little more miso will never hurt anyone.
Yep, a little bit more for our broccoli. And so that's our miso. And then we want 1 teaspoon of paprika.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. And then the secret, one of the many secret ingredients in this is going to be...
I like that, one of many.
Because there's a lot of secret ingredients there. So 1 teaspoon of paprika. And are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
1 can of Rotel. And this makes all the difference. Okay? If you can't get Rotel, just buy chopped tomatoes with green chilies, you know, diced chilies. But I happen to be a Rotel lover.
Yes.
So
we both are.
Yes. And so bada boom, bada bing, incorporate this, all right? So incorporate this together. We're almost done, by the way, believe it or not.
Smells delicious.
And once you get this, just everything melted in there, your miso, your nutritional yeast, your this, your that. You don't have to wait for the water to come to a boil or anything of that. If you do not, now we're going to make this so creamy and delicious. So what I'm going to add to this in the recipe that I'm going to give you is 1 cup of cashews. If you have a nut allergy, you can use sunflower seeds or 1 can of northern white beans.
Okay.
So white beans work well too, but you want this to be creamy, and this is where you're going to get your creamy. Remember, I told you there's a lot of secret ingredients in this. So just 1 cup or 1 can of the northern white bean, you know, the white beans in a can, drained. I would drain the beans and rinse them and put them in there. or you can use sunflower seeds. So you don't have to use cashews, but this is, I wasn't going to treat, Terry loves it with the cashews, and I just didn't want to jip them out today.
Oh, thank you, baby.
But I did want to tell you how you can do it without the cashews. So once you get that all in there, and you can see it's like really chunky and, you know, all that. You can either take an immersion blender and blend it. If you do not have an immersion blender, take this. One recipe actually fits perfectly into the Vitamix blender. So this is funny. This is how I normally do it. I normally dump this in here, which can be a little bit dangerous. It's a little bit hot, and whiz it up until it's super, super creamy and smooth. But today I have to make an adjustment because I have more in here and I'm going to need more than that. And I just don't feel like moving all this hot stuff around and dumping it out and all of that. So I'm going to use an immersion blender. But if you don't have one of these, go ahead and use your blender. So we're going to blend it up. Okay, so we immersion blended it all up, and now you can see it's smooth and creamy. I will tell you that if you use the Vitamix, it will not be like grainy or have any of that. It's just kind of smooth because that's how the Vitamix does. Another tip, if you are going to use the nuts and you forget to soak them like I did, and well, I didn't forget, I really didn't know what we were going to want for lunch, and then we decided to have this broccoli cheddar soup. But so one thing you can do, tip, you can take the nuts if you haven't had time to soak, or you forgot to soak and you really want to make a recipe, and you can boil those nuts. You can boil the nuts for like a minute or two, and it makes them really soft. That will also help. But you can, or you can just dump them in the way that I did. There's so many things that you can do for your recipes. It's not like one size fits all. But this looks creamy, delicious, and
smells
yummy.
delicious.
So then we're going to take all of our beautiful, deep green and gorgeous, honey, if you hold that for me, I don't want to get burnt. Thank you. We are going to dump this in, and
this is going to be full pot.
That's it. So what you do is you submerge your beautiful green broccoli in there, and then you put the lid on and you let this boil for about 30 minutes, and then you eat it. And it is a really good experience. Right, honey?
Oh my God, yes. This is one of my favorites.
Yes, this is definitely one of
when you started
Terry's
making this,
favorite.
I mean, it really brought me back to when we used to eat real cheese, broccoli cheddar cheese soup. So this is
yummy.
Better. Not only better tasting, but better for us. So.
I mean, period. And I remember when Mom first tasted it, right, a couple months ago.
Yeah, she was blown away.
She went crazy. She wanted to cook it every night. So we are going to try the broth, just because, honey, I don't know about you, but I am dying.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I know what this tastes like, but I mean, it might taste a little bit different because I altered the recipe. Nope. So good.
Oh my God, yummy, yummy, yummy.
More grainy because delicious. I did not put it in the Vitamix, but
delicious.
Oh my God, honey.
Unbelievable. I can't wait for this to be done.
Oh my gosh. So let's put a lid on it.
Okay.
We're going to cook this for 30 minutes and we're going to go enjoy it. And then we'll be back for our, playoff?
Yep.
Game playoff dinner, or the game that we really want to watch starts at 6 or 6:15 or something?
6:30. Yep.
6:30. So we'll be back.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye. All righty.
So it is, well, it's not time for dinner. We're getting ready for dinner.
Yes.
Because we don't want to miss the game. So we decided that we were going to have, what do we have?
We're going to have some buffalo cauliflower wings, which is one of my football favorites.
Absolutely football food.
As well as one of your favorites.
Sweet potato fries.
Yes.
So what we thought we would do, and the reason why we're going to come in here and not do it while we're cooking it is because we wanted to give you a couple tips on how to get crispy fries. You may know these tips, you may not, but it's amazing. And I know when I do it, Terry always says, how do you get these fries so crispy? See? Jinx. So again, buy the cauliflower already cut up. You can get it at Trader Joe's. You can get it at Costco. Actually, they hadn't had it at Costco, but when I went to Costco this week, they had it. So it was pretty cool.
Pre-washed.
Pre-washed. BJ's carries it. Anyway, again, Terry takes it out of the bag and just cuts it up into, so we can pop it in our mouth.
Bite-sized pieces.
There's a couple cauliflower wing recipes on the app and the website. Just go look up, just type something in the search and you'll find a couple recipes for that. So I'm sure Terry's gonna want something, like sweet and spicy, because that's what he likes. But we haven't discussed that yet, so I don't want to put you on the spot. For the fries, the best way to get them crispy, whether you're making regular potato fries or sweet potato fries, is cut them up into the fries that you want. These are not all uniform or the same size or anything, because these are homemade. We just took sweet potatoes and cut them up. Some have skin, some don't, if they came from the center. And you put them in a bowl and you rinse them really good with really cold water. And you just keep rinsing them until your water in your bowl looks clear or clean. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to remove some of that starch from the potatoes, because the reason why homemade fresh cut potatoes at home don't usually get crispy when we don't cook with oil. Like, you could coat these in oil and make them super fattening and unhealthy and probably get them crispy. But even crispier this way is we're trying to remove some of the starch.
Yes.
The starch makes them a little bit gooey and soft. So that's why you miss out on some of that crispiness. And so once I get my water clear, then I let it sit in really cold, let these fries sit in really cold water for 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
Then I just get a baking sheet and line it with parchment paper. I take these out and I dry them well. So get a clean kitchen towel and dry them off, as good as you can. I drain them and then I pour them in the kitchen towel and I roll them around in the kitchen towel. I don't get crazy. And then you want to either dump them on the pan or dump them back into a bowl that's not wet. And you want to put some cornstarch or arrowroot on the potatoes and just mix them up. Don't go crazy with it. You don't have to coat them a lot. And you have to do it quick because it'll soak in and then you'll think, I don't have enough. And next thing you know, you got a half a cup of arrowroot and you don't want that. So coat them with arrowroot. Taking the starch out, drying them, coating them with arrowroot is the secret.
And it works perfect.
And it works.
Because I couldn't believe how crispy and tasty they were. It was incredible.
It's just really good. And he was just like, honey, how did you do this? So it was a cool moment to see him like that. But so what we're going to do is do exactly what I told you. And then season them however you want to season them. If you just want pepper, or if you eat salt and pepper, put salt and pepper. If you want a Southwest flair or you want something sweet, you can put cinnamon on them. You can put paprika. There's a million things you could do. I wouldn't use oil. Cool. Yes, custom fries. I love that, honey. Custom fries. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my oven on 425 because I like to cook the fries hot. You could even put them on 450, but I'm going to put mine on 425 and then put them in the oven and let them cook for 15 minutes. Okay. And then flip them over and let them cook for another 10 or 15 minutes. Then when you're done, because every oven cooks differently, just see if they're crispy enough for you or if you need them to cook a little bit longer or shorter. So let's call it 25 to 35 minutes. Okay. So, and then what we're gonna do to make this a cheesy recipe, we're going to cook them plain with just pepper, the arrowroot or the cornstarch and pepper. because the arrowroot doesn't have flavor. We're doing it for crunch.
Right.
And then we are going to grate some of our mozzarella cheese over this, and we're going to have, and then I'm going to pop them back in the oven or maybe in the broiler.
Yeah.
And broil the cheese over the top, and then we'll have some cheese on there. So these are going to be savory tonight, not sweet, but we have had the ones with cinnamon. You can even make a date syrup.
That sounds delicious, babe. I can't wait.
It's amazing. You can make a
treat for me.
honey mustard by sweetening a mustard with your favorite sweetener, guava or whatever, and maple syrup, and you can dip them there. I mean, yummy, yummy. So we're going to make wings. Go find any recipe you want off of our app or website. That's a tip on fries, and we're going to have cheese fries and probably a salad too, because we do like to have salad with our dinner. And the awesome thing was the soup was amazing.
Awesome.
I do like it blended better in the Vitamix. I do. But it tasted the same. It's just a little bit more grainy.
Texture. Yeah, the texture was just
a little bit more grainy,
but it was still delicious.
It didn't stop me from eating it.
Exactly.
So I do like it better in the Vitamix, and even maybe in the future I would pour it into a big bowl and blend it, but whatever. So we have plenty left over. We have it cooling on the stove over there, and we get to have that tomorrow with a big salad.
Yes.
So guess what? I don't have to make dinner tomorrow. Bonus. And I was going to tell you one thing about the pum fu. Pum fu can be hard to find and can be expensive. So if you can't find it in your store, if you live in the Northeast or if you have a Wegmans around you, they do sell it at Wegmans. Where else they sell it, I'm not 100% certain. I do think you can buy it on websites. I'm not sure if Amazon has it, maybe, because I go to Wegmans and buy it. But there are a bunch of YouTubers that have pum fu recipes or pumpkin seed tofu recipes that only have 2 ingredients. You know, if you're feeling energetic, you can make your own if you just have some pumpkin seeds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, or just use the regular tofu.
Homemade pum fu.
But I was thinking about that after I made it, so I said, oh man, I should have told everybody, but I'm telling you now.
Well, you've been a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of information, babe, so I'm sure our viewers really appreciate everything you're telling them. So
thank
I learn every time we have a show.
Yeah.
Every time we have a show, I learn. So.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that Terry is back with me for this show, because I certainly missed him, and he helped me chop, and it just made life so easy. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like us, please like us.
We love you guys, and we just love creating and bringing new recipes and ideas and different things to you, and sharing our life and sharing how we eat with you. So it's been an amazing time. So we love you guys.
Yep, love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.